10 accidental inventions that changed the world. You will never guess what the number one invention is. Like and subscribe for weekly videos. In the comments below, list one topic you think should be in a top 10 video and comment if you subscribe to this channel. Sometimes, genius arrives simply by chance, not by choice. That explains why some of the greatest inventions happened by accident. In some cases, the inventor was searching for one thing but found something very different. However, in one case, it was a casual walk through the woods that led to the discovery. Find out how chance played a role in some of the world's greatest inventions. 10 Velcro fasteners are on several products from backpacks to blood pressure gauges, but can you imagine a world where this technology doesn't exist? 80 years ago, people lived in a Velcro-less world with no plans or intentions of inventing the item. In 1941, Swiss engineer Georges de Mestral took a leisurely stroll through the woods with his dog. When they returned from their walk, he noticed they were covered with small burrs. He studied the burrs in hopes of determining how they stuck to clothing and hair so easily, and he found that the small hooks on the burr allowed it to cling to tiny loops of fabric. De Mestral came up with the bright idea of creating a two-sided fastener with stiff hooks and loops. He named his invention Velcro, which is actually the name of the company and not the general term for hook and loop fasteners. His product was patented in 1955 and then manufactured and distributed across the world. Velcro fasteners have been used on several items, but they gained popularity after being used in outer space. The fasteners helped keep equipment from floating away in zero gravity. During de Mestral's lifetime, his company sold an average of 55 million meters, 60 million yard, of Velcro per year. 9 Play-Doh. Kids love Play-Doh because it comes in many colors and can be sculpted into anything imaginable. This popular children's product was invented by accident by Noah McVicker. He worked for a soap company and originally invented the putty substance to be used as a wallpaper cleaner. The cleaner worked great because it contained no chemicals, could be reused, and didn't stain the wallpaper. Noah's nephew, Joseph McVicker, worked for the same company and discovered that teachers were using the putty in their classrooms for arts and crafts. Joseph is responsible for changing the name to Play-Doh and marketing the putty for children. The McVickers established the Rainbow Crafts Company to manufacture and sell the putty, which at first was only available in an off-white color. More than 315 million kilograms, 700 million pounds, of Play-Doh have been sold since it was introduced. If you put all that putty through the Play-Doh Fun Factory playset, it would create a snake that could wrap around the world more than 300 times. 8 Post-it notes. Cling notes are simply little bits of paper used to help advise you that your physical checkup is coming up or that your schoolwork is late after tomorrow. We're all blameworthy of utilizing them, however it's because of a mishap that we are sufficiently fortunate to have them. In 1968, Dr. Spencer Silver, a scientific expert at 3M, was endeavoring to make a super strong cement. All things considered, he inadvertently made a feeble, pressure-delicate glue. He advanced his answer without an issue inside the organization for a very long time, however no one could concoct a utilization for it. In 1974, Art Fry, a partner of Silver's, figured out how to utilize the cement for his own motivations. Fry was an individual from his congregation's ensemble, and he was baffled that bookmarks set in his hymn book were continually jumping out. He utilized the cement on his bookmarks to hold them set up. Fry later had utilizing Silver's cement on little notes. 3M delivered the notes under the name Press and Peel in 1977, yet there was no quick achievement. The organization began testing the item in specific territories and delivered post-it notes in 1980. The little clingy notes at last began to pick up foothold, and the rest is history. The notes are presently sold worldwide and come in different shapes and shadings. 7 Saccharin. Outside of toxic lead-2 acetate, the first artificial sweetener was saccharin. The product offered a cheap alternative to cane sugar, and it was discovered entirely by accident. The sweetener was discovered in a small lab at Johns Hopkins University that belonged to researcher Ira Remsen. he loaned the use of his lab to Russian chemist Konstantin Feilberg. One night after working in the lab, Feilberg went home to eat dinner with his wife. He noticed that the homemade bread he was eating was much sweeter, but his wife confirmed that she had not changed the recipe. Feilberg realized that he must have transferred a chemical from his lab to the bread, and apparently, he hadn't washed his hands. He went back to his lab and tasted every chemical on his desk. Eventually, he traced the taste to a beaker filled with sulfobenzoic acid, phosphorus chloride, and ammonia, a compound known as benzoic sulfonide. This accidental discovery led to those little colorful packets that you see on every restaurant table. 6. Vulcanized rubber. Charles Goodyear was obsessed with rubber, so much so that he put his family in debt to finance experiments to make rubber more suitable for industrial use. In his early years, he was unsuccessful in the rubber business, but he never let that slow him down. In 1839, Goodyear accidentally dropped rubber on a hot stove with sulfur on it, and surprisingly, the rubber didn't melt. In fact, it actually hardened. In 1844, Goodyear patented the vulcanized rubber, and his company became a leading manufacturer of rubber at the time. His success was short-lived, as was his fortune. He lost most of his money on legal battles fighting patent infringements, and he died in 1860. The Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company was founded in 1898 and named in his honor. 5. Chocolate chip cookies. One of the most flavorful treats, the chocolate chip treat, was shockingly imagined coincidentally. It occurred in 1930 at the Toll House Inn, which was controlled by Kenneth and Ruth Graves Wakefield. Mrs. Wakefield arranged all the pastries at the hotel, and she had gained notoriety for her delicious treats. One night, Mrs. Wakefield began creation some chocolate butter drop do treats, which was a mainstream pioneer formula. Yet, she understood that she was out of pastry specialists' chocolate. So she began cleaving up a square of Nestle semi-sweet chocolate to use in the recipe. She figured the chocolate would dissolve and scatter over the treat, however it really held its unique structure and mellowed. The treat was a hit, and she named it the Chocolate Crunch Cookie. The rest is sweet, tasty history. The first formula is still imprinted on sacks of Nestle's Toll House chocolate morsels. 4. Friction matches. Matches have a long history, but the first friction match was accidentally invented by John Walker while conducting an experiment in his lab. First, he stirred a mixture of sulfur and other materials with a wooden stick. Later, he scraped the stick's end with the dried material on the stone floor by accident. The end of the wood burst into flames. He knew he had created something of amusement, so he made several more of the sticks to demonstrate for friends. Samuel Jones had seen one of Walker's demonstrations and was encouraged to set up a match business in London. Jones's product was named Lucifer's, and its success caused smoking to gain popularity in the London area. This eventually led to the invention of the safety match, which can be found in most homes today. 3. Kevlar. Stephanie Kwolek always wanted to be a doctor. Instead, she became the accidental inventor of Kevlar, which is a lightweight fabric 5 times stronger than steel. While analyzing molecule chains at low temperatures, she found a chain that was exceptionally strong and stiff. She knew that fibers created from this solution were the strongest anyone had ever seen, and her discovery led to the invention of Kevlar. There are now more than 200 applications for the fabric. It has been used to create body armor for police forces and military troops, and it can also be found in planes, shoes, boats, car brakes, and many other items. Kevlar vests have saved many lives from bullets, knives, and other weapons, and many more in the future will be spared thanks to its discovery. 2 Glasses that treat color blindness. In 2005, Don McPherson was out playing extreme frisbee when one of his companions requested to obtain his shades. His companion was dazed when he put them on in light of the fact that they really permitted him to see the shading orange for the main time. MC McPherson had recently discovered that his companion was partially blind. Made by McPherson, these glasses were initially made as eyewear for specialists during laser medical procedure. The specialists cherished the glasses so much that the specs started vanishing from working rooms. McPherson likewise started to wear them calmly, which is the reason he had them on that day. MC McPherson and two associates later established Enchroma Labs, an organization that is devoted to creating shades for individuals with shading vision inadequacy. The organization is proceeding to contemplate visual weakness and how they can convey glasses to shoppers with various shading deficiencies. They are at present taking a shot at indoor glasses, a pediatric model, and an online test that can assist individuals with understanding their partial blindness. You can step through the exam here. 1 Pacemaker Drive. Wilson Greatbatch made an error that led to one of the greatest life-saving inventions that would forever change healthcare. He attempted to create a heart rhythm recorder in 1956, but an incorrect electronic component caused him to fail. Instead of recording the sound of a heartbeat, the device produced electronic pulses. That's when Greatbatch realized that his mistake could help an unhealthy heart stay in rhythm by delivering shocks to help pump and contract blood. After his accidental discovery, Greatbatch worked hard to produce the first implantable cardiac pacemaker. It took him 2 years to refine his device and receive a patent. His first pacemaker was implanted in a patient who lived 18 months with the device. His invention has ultimately saved millions of lives worldwide, and he proved that failure is the greatest learning experience.